Welcome to Milestone 2, where we're going to level set your expectations regarding what it's like being a brand licensee, as well as the expectations dealing with a brand licensor. Please download our milestone at our website. Here's a document that we'll be filling out today. The first expectation you as a brand licensee should have is to be able to grow your own existing channels. Where you can really exercise leverage with a retail buyer or any type of buyer is if you're able to parlay the brand from one portfolio, in this case we're looking at a Goodyear floor mat, into another automotive portfolio with the same buyer, in this case a Goodyear back support. It's all about being a one-stop shop for big brands for the buyers. Number 2. The license should give you sales growth in new channels, which is part of the reason why you're doing this, because you're looking to grow your business. So that brand equity needs to open up new channels of distribution to generate incremental revenue. Let's take a look at another example. This right here are the opening price point toys, pet toys found at Pet Supermarket. I'm not very familiar with these brands. However, a good brand extension play to open up a new channel of distribution would be with Target. Now you have the opportunity to take the Nerf brand, for example, and build out an entire planogram. The next expectation is that you need to expect the licensor to own their trademarks in whichever country you are planning to distribute your product. Simply put, double check that they've actually registered their marks. If you are in the United States, you can easily search it through the United States Patent and Trademark Office website. The next point, the next expectation, is licensees expect that the licensor or their agents will run a simple, straightforward licensing program that will not tax your organization. So in other words, if the deal gets convoluted and the licensor requirements become too stringent, it may be time to consider another option. And finally, the last licensee expectation is that you need to hope that your licensor will be responsive. And if they're not, it could be a problem. Here's why. Let's take a look at this palette. This palette is a licensed product. It's in the toy category, so it's cars and whatnot. Therefore, what process you think the licensee had to go through in order to get this approved? Number 1, they had to get marketing approval for the product design of the product. Number 2, they had to get marketing approval for the retail box graphics. 3, they needed marketing approval for the merchandising graphics on the side. 4, legal had to sign off on the instruction manual that was printed inside of the box. And last but not least, the corrugate, the actual carton in which it is standing, that merchandiser, had to be approved for quality control. So if you're dealing with a complicated licensor, you may have to jump through hoops through every single one of these possibilities. A more laid-back licensor, and you may only have 1 or 2. Now let's talk about the 6 expectations that the brand licensor will have of you, the brand licensee. Number 1, and most importantly, they want you to achieve your sales targets. That's the reason why they are even allowing you to trademark license that brand. So that's number 1, is you want to try to hit those numbers right out of the gate and instill confidence. Number 2 is the licensor is going to expect you to invest in trade marketing. This means that you, as the licensee, must foot the bill for all of your marketing initiatives, whether it's SEO, Facebook business, magazines, trade shows, point of purchase materials. You need to build that in your cost of goods sold. Next, the product must connect on a functional and emotional level. So let's talk about what that means. You may have heard of deadmau5. He's an international DJ. deadmau5 has partnered up with Secret Lab, a video game chair company, to create what is truly a functional and emotional product. Functional because it's an award-winning sitting experience, and emotional because deadmau5 himself really explains how he connects as far as the type of work he does in that chair, why it's important to him, and just the overall significance of having a comfortable chair in his life. That brings out the emotional example. Next is exclusive housing IDs. In a perfect world, the licensor is going to request exclusive housing IDs on everything so that they can truly be differentiated. However, the reality is that you have tooling costs and that may not be possible. Therefore, please ensure that before you commit to a brand, like for example Craftsman in this case, that you realize that if you trademark license the brand Craftsman, then the only place you can sell it is at Lowe's because they have an exclusive. So all of these Craftsman licensees are all stuck with only being able to sell those exclusive housing IDs to Lowe's. The second to last licensor expectation is that they expect you to meet the contract terms and conditions. And we will review the instances in which you are unable to meet those contract terms and conditions and what happens. But that'll be further on down in some of the later milestones. Last but not least, the licensor is going to expect all of your employees to be informed about the contractual obligations so that your graphics department respects the brand style guidelines, so your legal department knows what to be checking for in instruction manuals or on the back of the packagings, so that every single step is clear and concise for each of the different parties involved in your business. Now that we've laid out the different strategic points that we need to take into consideration, we're going to start using these by building out milestone 3. See you there.